My name is Tania Hudson, and both of my sons were murdered 7 years apart. Johnny, since we changed the narrative, it is senseless acts of gun violence. I work with Moms Demanding Actions for us to change some of the senseless acts of gun laws in our urban communities. The reason the narrative was changed because black are not the only nationality that kills one another. We're just the ones that make the media in regards to that. So changing our mindset in our community in regards to how we are perceived have been one of my goals. When Johnny was taken in 2009, I started going to the schools and speaking with children about conflict resolution, how to interact with their peers, the way that our body language makes people perceive us. We are a very different culture. Sometimes I have to tell them to cultivate our children because we're so all over the place. They need to be taught. So you can't continue to say stop the violence if you're not willing to start teaching them how to stop the violence. And also in 2015, October 29th, my child, Deontay Bell, was sitting in a legally parked vehicle. No loud music, no weed smoke, no disturbance, no police called, but they said they were doing community policing, which led up to my son being shot in the back 5 times and in the head. That's how I became a member with Ohio Unite Against Police Brutality. Because not only are our human rights being violated, our civil rights are being violated. The misinformation that is given to the media initially when something happens. We go off of the victim's record, but you don't look into the police officers or the elected officials' record. I say all this because the officers had been reprimanded 42 times and there was no consequences. My son never got out the vehicle when he was shot in the back and in the head. The head first, 1 time, and in the back 5 more times. Deontay asked numerous times what had he done wrong. There was no reply. The officer also put himself in immediate danger. He got inside the vehicle with my child. So if you were in fear of your life, why did you get inside? Which there's some discrepancies in regards to that. They called themselves community policing. No one called them. They locked the vehicle in. The vehicle was turned off. This is just one of the stories that have not made it nationally. So our ultimate goal is to hold police accountable for their actions and to amend or end qualified immunity because that's what allowed them to get away with it. They fear for their life, even though they put themselves in danger in some situations. Our goal is not to defund the police. That's not what we're asking. We're asking for them to be held accountable where once our life changed, as if they were a civilian without those credentials to have that immunity to get away with murder. Not only to say that we want to end qualified immunity and hold them accountable for their actions, but we would also like for them to be arrested as if they were one of us.